Hey, Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah, Ha, Kodash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that have taught us this truth, and they continue to teach us. And Shalom to our brothers doing this mighty and powerful works in hopes of salvation. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which means He is, He exists. And Yahweh Shai is the name of the beloved Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai, meaning He deliverer. Bahashem just means in the name. So, breaking news. Of course, the deal was not going to stand. Of course, Israel is going to continue their pursuit against Iran. Oh, of course, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. But check this video out, man. There's a reason why gas prices are low. It's because they are using their reserves. And this just means America is about to be through, man.
Run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. You know, there are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see Bedlam? Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. You know, there are
We're about to run out of reserves. 4 weeks. Shit is about to be real serious. Why everybody's distracted with this fucking World Cup. And yeah, the games are good as fuck. Yeah, they're lively because of Jake. The whole world is in a global crisis. Revelations 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. So we're not supposed to worship angels. I am thy fellow servant and a brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. And that shows you that we are angels as well. Fellow servant, brethren. All right. Worship the Most High. So the angel telling John, hey, don't even bow down to me. Worship the Most High. You're supposed to worship the Creator. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So you know who's coming in the spirit of the Lord if they're all about prophecy. Hey man, that's all I go into. You know? Prophecies. I go into the scriptures that tells the future. All right? So that's how you know a man have the spirit of the Lord, what they go into. And here at Great Millstone, that's all we focus on, prophecies. Yeah, we rebuke. Yeah, we correct Israel, and we defend the gospel and talk about these other camps. But our main focus is prophecies, because these prophecies is an indicator that Yahweh Shai is going to return. And also, these prophecies is signs, you know, that tell you, like, look, this is how it ends. All right? And America ain't getting up out of that war, man. They have been drawn out. They have been drawn out for World War III, and there is no turning back. Jeremiah 50:24, I have laid a snare for thee. So the Most High has laid a trap for America. And World War III is one of those major traps. All right, a trap for America to get destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, aka America. All right, and thou was not aware. Like, look at what's going on. America thought, oh, this is just going to be an easy cakewalk. We're going to destabilize Iran. Oh, we're going to reestablish power back in the world. You know, make America great again. And look what happened. Now they're on their knees begging Iran for oil, for a deal, you know, for peace. But it's too late. You've been dragged into a war. And the war to end all wars. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Most High, against the Lord. So you've been caught in this trap, man. Why? Because you're fighting against God. The Lord had opened his armory and had brought forth the weapons of his indignation. So the Most High have created the smith to blow at the fire and the coal. He have given all the extravagant, extreme technology to make the nuclear missiles, man. All right, all type of missiles, from air, the ones that go underwater, the ones that could go in space and come, in, you know, in our, they could go, you know, high as fuck in our space and then come down. They could reach America in 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. All right, they could carry 60 plus warheads. They could carry 100 plus warheads. The Most High has opened this armory, man, and had brought forth the weapons of his indignation. And these nuclear missiles, they gonna have the wrath of the Lord in them. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. And this is the land of witchcraft and fucking enchantment and left-hand wizardry. All right? If that's even a word, you know? Yeah, man, America's snared. Trump said, we had to sign a deal because, hey, man, we got 4 weeks of reserves. Do you know what that means? That's 4 months of oil you're not supposed to touch. Gas you're not supposed to touch. And he said, what? It will be what? Bedlam.
Reserves all over the world, and we would really run out, and there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see bedlam?
You want to see bedlam? When people ain't got no goddamn gas? So I looked up, what is the meaning of bedlam? Bedlam refers to a scene or state of wild, noisy uproar, total confusion, sedition among men. All right? Factories need gas, manufacturing need gas, electricity, all of these things, the infrastructure run on oil. It says it is often used to describe events that lack order or control, such as a chaotic sports stadium. You get the point. Chaos. Out of order. Lack of control. These people ain't gonna control their fucking self, man.
Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. There are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see Bedlam? Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. There are reserves all over the world, and
let's look up the...
The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion...
America lost the Iran war, and the deal that's just been signed at the G7 in France confirms it. We now know that this deal...
Also, we run out of reserves in about...
Every single Democrat. People are pointing out that after days of secret.
זה מה שהשגנו. הצלנו את מדינת ישראל מהשמדה.
The clearest loser at this point.
The overall
Great news! Just days after the U.S.
Fox News proclaims.
I have a question about...
Yeah, man, that shit...
Well, damn, that didn't take long. Check out this headline. Iran declares the Strait of Hormuz closed again after U.S. lifts blockade. Now, earlier in the day, I talked about the fact that J.D. Vance canceled his trip to Switzerland. That's how it's being spun by the White House. But what really happened is that Iran pulled out of the meeting in Switzerland because they say that the United States and Israel have already violated the ceasefire agreement, this memo of understanding, Trump's surrender document. Of course, Israel is not a party to that agreement, but they continue to attack Lebanon, and so Iran says, well, that's a violation of the agreement. We are not going to Switzerland for this meeting. And it was only then that the White House announced that J.D. Vance was canceling the trip. Yeah, well, why wouldn't you cancel the trip? The other side already said they're not showing up. Anyway, let me read a little of this article, because now Iran is out there saying not only has the United States and Israel violated the agreement, but we are going to close the Strait of Hormuz again. So let me read this.
So what does that mean? We're going to keep tapping into them reserves. And we're going to see blackouts. We're going to see it all, man. We're going to see this shit slowly cripple. And we're going to be in the midst of it, you know. Isaiah 47:8. The only difference between us and the rest of the world is that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is on our side. The Most High is with us. Isaiah 47:8. Therefore hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures. And guess what? Them pleasures is about to come to an end, man. Right now people are chilling. They think they're in a good case. They eating and drinking. You know, right now, if you want, you can order fucking 50 McChickens. You know, you could go to 10 different stores. You could really enjoy yourself, but these people are living in pleasures, wicked pleasures, man. That dwelleth carelessly. So these people they're careless because they're in the state of peace and safety. You ain't got to worry about bombs dropping on you. You ain't got to worry about, you know, crazy events, because you got police, you got response system, you got medical system. That sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's how America feel. They feel like they're untouchable. You know, they feel like no nation is equal to America. And Trump, that's how he speaks. Like as if America is the only superpower. when you have China surpassing America, Russia surpassing America military-wise, China economic-wise. It says, I shall not sit as a widow. Yeah, so America felt like they're never going to be alone without a husband. All right? Neither shall I know the loss of children, which is crucial because America is likened onto that a woman, a lady, right? But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood. The worst thing that could happen to a woman. So the worst thing that could happen to America is America being invaded by a divine entity, which is Yahushai's return, and nuclear missiles hitting this place. So this is what the metaphor is like. It's like the worst thing that could happen to a woman. Her children die and her husband die, so she can't even make no more children. So there's no hope, nothing there, no life. Everything is taken away. But these two things shall come upon thee in one moment, in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. So that's when Yahushua return in them nuclear missiles and America. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. And that's the missiles. You know, in Joel, it tells you they should not break their rank. Meaning, whatever coordinates or location the missiles were aimed at, they're going to hit. And there is no missile defense system, no dome, nothing. No projectiles that could throw the missiles off. For the multitude of thine sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. So the Most High, He's going to put an end to all this goddamn spells, witchcraft, magic. For thou hast trusted in thine wickedness, and thou hast said, none seeth me, not thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. So they're puffed up with the left hand power, with the left hand knowledge, with the technology and all this shit that they're able to do. You know? So as it perverted you to think you're above the Most High's will. You know, that you're untouchable. But you're going to be touched. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. So America feels like they're the shit, you know. They can't be stopped. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. And we're witnessing the evils coming upon America. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. So it's going to be a lot of things, a lot of events that's just happening, which is it's going to be out of the control of the elites and America, because the Most High is going to bring the troubles here. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. Yeah, man, Trump could try everything. He could humble down. He could even give them money. What does the scripture says? The Medes shall not regard silver or gold. It don't matter what the fuck you do. You have offended the Most High and you have offended these nations. They're not trying to talk. They're not trying to be at peace. Right now, Russia is getting heavily attacked. And come to find out, some of those weapons are American funded, you know, American sponsored. So yeah, man, mischief will fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. Hey, the scriptures say in Isaiah 14, he is persecuted and none hindereth. That means nothing, nobody, the whole world can't even save you if they wanted to. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So we're at a pivotal point where that suddenly is about to happen. All right, the scriptures talk about this in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, how they should say peace and safety and then sudden destruction. You know? So it's going to be a hit you can't see, man. That's really going to knock this place down, bro. Yeah, trouble, evil is being sent. Yeah, man. These American people don't know what the fuck is about to happen, man. They caught up in USA doing good and all that. Luke chapter 4 and 31. Miserable are they that afflicted thee. Yeah, a lot of these Edomites, they're very miserable. That's why they take their anger out on Jake, man. Because their lives have become miserable. Their heaven has become an hell unto them. And rejoice at that fall. Yeah, they rejoiced when we was slaves, and when they could make fun of us when we were at the bottom, and we was on their fields and their farms, when we was in them prisons, when we was in them ghettos, when we was destroyed by drugs, by gun violence. All right, they rejoiced when we was falling down. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And here in America, we have been sold as slaves, man. All across America. Don't let them fool you, man. Everybody had slaves. 400 years, you telling me you devils all came here and none of and all your family didn't have no slaves? Get the fuck out of here. North, south, east, west, all of America, you devils all had slaves. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own destruction. And now we're seeing the people. Why is Trump bringing us to war? Why is taking all the tax dollar? Why is this? Why are they giving our jobs to AI? Why is the economy collapsing? Why is our government corrupt? Why are we going to war? Yeah, they're very grieved. They're in pain because America is falling. For I would take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. Yeah, everybody making money in America. These Edomites, they living it up. Now, that joy is gone because shit has become harder. And her pride shall be turned into mourning. And right now we're witnessing the pride of these Americans. They're getting humbled. Now they're mourning. They're crying on the internet. They're crying for their jobs. They're crying about their lives. All right? And that's, a lot of people. Millions. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting. And that's that nuclear missiles, man. That's some nuclear missiles. long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. So after this place is nuked, only thing that is going to dwell here is desert creatures. All right? O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. And that's Yahawashi, man. Because when Yahawashi returned in the Middle East, from the east, and goes to the Middle East, and lay their asses down and head towards America, or head towards the West, man, we know that getting beamed up is going to be the start of the new life, man. Life. You know, the kingdom. All our heart's desires, man, being changed far beyond what we look for, you know? So that's going to be, Lord willing, we're one of those men. That's going to be real joy. But yeah, man, we'll see how this plays out, because, you know, a lot of people have been saying, oh, it's going to be this month. People going to feel it. It's that month. So what this guy has done to try to offset or buy him some time, he's tapping into the reserves. So yeah, man, we'll see how this go. Lord willing, they don't make a deal, which it ain't gonna make no deal. But Lord willing, this is it, man. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.